Hello learner, welcome back to our lessons. This is grade 8, chapter number 2. And there is a relationship between what we are learning in integrated science and what is there in biology. So today we have a wonderful diagram of a microscope, of course a light microscope. And of course we have the live microscope with us here. This is it. It is well protected so that probably in case of it falling, it doesn't break. So it is well protected. Remember, a light microscope is very delicate and of course very expensive. It is delicate because most of the parts are made up of glass, and those parts, if they break, it becomes a problem to have them replaced. So I would want you to first of all understand that a light microscope is used in enlarging specimens that you are studying. A light microscope is used to observe microscopic or minute, that means very small specimens that you need to enlarge so that you can do a good study or examination. So my microscope is here. This is it. This is the microscope. And there is a soft cloth. You can see this soft cloth that is used in cleaning, for example, the mirror and the lenses that are here. There is also what we call the eyepiece, which is also accompanied. It is well protected here. So this is the eyepiece. Of course, eyepiece lens is well protected, and I will fix it in my microscope. This is where we fit it. It is fit here. That is now a complete microscope. So I want us to look at the parts, all of them, because already I have the diagram here, and I also have the live this microscope that you can see here. These parts that I've drawn here are going to be seen physically on this microscope. I want to repeat that a microscope is very delicate because, like these lenses, this eyepiece lens, we also have the objective lenses that are here. We also have the mirror, are delicate and they can easily break. So work with me and of course have somewhere to write and ensure you read this microscope and write the notes on it. So the first part of this microscope is the eyepiece. The eyepiece is the first part which I'm showing you here. This is the eyepiece. The eyepiece is a part that is used in enlarging. This is where you see the specimen from. You place your eye like this, you use one eye, you see the specimen that is on this stage through the eyepiece. It has a lens, and that lens is used in combination with these other lenses down here to magnify the specimen. To magnify is to enlarge. Part number 2 is the body tube. The body tube is well represented in black on this diagram here, and we also have it here. The body tube holds, it is the one that supports, it is the one that carries or holds the eyepiece lens and of course the revolving nose piece. And the revolving nose piece is where now you can see objective lenses. Of course our microscope has 2, but there's a space of fixing another one here. So the body tube harbors or holds the eyepiece and the revolving nose piece. The revolving nose piece, as the term suggests, it revolves. Let me first of all ensure that my objective lenses are safe. Now, the revolving nose piece, as the name suggests, it revolves. You can rotate it and ensure that the objective lens that you want to use has been put in place. So you can turn it like this until you hear the clicking sound. That clicking sound means I have turned to this objective lens here. So the revolving nose piece revolves or can be turned, can be rotated to bring the desired objective lens to be on this line so that you can be able to observe. We have objective lenses. My microscope has 2, but it is meant to have 3. There's another hole for another one here. These objective lenses, they work in combination with the eyepiece lens so that they can bring the desired magnification. So both of them, or these objective lenses and the eyepiece, will be working in combination so that we can have what we call desired magnification. We go down, or we go up a little. We have this coarse adjustment knob. Coarse adjustment knob. We have it here. This is the coarse adjustment knob. It is a bigger knob when you compare it to this other one here. This smaller one is called the fine adjustment knob. The coarse adjustment knob is used to raise or lower. You can see what I'm doing. Raising or lowering the body tube. Raising, you see, and lowering the body tube a longer distance. Longer distance, you can go far, like look at that. You can also go very far downwards. So raising and lowering the body tube a longer distance to bring the image into rough focus. Just bring the image into focus. The moment you're able to focus the image, that is okay. Rough focus. Rough focus. That is the work of coarse adjustment knob. Raising or lowering the body tube a longer distance to bring the image into just rough focus. The smaller one here, this smaller one here, fine adjustment knob. Fine adjustment knob. It raises, it also does the work of raising and lowering the body tube. But now, this one works a shorter distance. So, raises or lowers the body tube a shorter distance to bring the image into sharp focus. The term is sharp focus. For the fine adjustment knob, it is rough focus. But for the fine adjustment knob, it is sharp focus. For the coarse adjustment knob, it is rough focus. Another part is the one that I'm holding. You can see the arm or limb. The arm. This is a part that you hold when you are carrying the microscope. But the most important thing, as much as it supports the whole microscope, this part holds this upper part here. That is the body tube. And of course, the other parts down here, all the way like the stage, the diaphragm, all these parts are held in place by this arm. But it is for support. When you hold it like this, you are giving this microscope enough support, because when you're moving from one point to another using carrying this microscope, you ensure that it doesn't fall off. A microscope is carried like a thermos because it is very delicate, just like a thermos is. But remember, there's a difference. A thermos is not as expensive as a microscope. So at this point, the arm is where you hold when you're carrying the microscope. Again, another hand will be holding the base. So the base rests on one hand, and the arm is also held by another hand. So we go directly to the base because I have touched on it. The base is now what offers firm support. It is when you place the microscope on the bench, all the weight of that microscope will rest on the base. So the base will be carrying the weight of the whole microscope, and it is used for support. We go back a little. We have the stage. The stage is right here. These parts, this is the stage. This is where a specimen on the slide is placed. It is a flat platform. It is flat. You can see it is flat. And this is a flat platform where the specimen on the slide is placed. You put your specimen here, and then you use the clips. You use the clips to hold that specimen in position. So the stage is a flat platform onto which the specimen is placed for examination. And again, because I've talked about the clips that are found on the stage, these clips is a pair. Actually, there's one on this end and the other one on the other side. They are the ones that hold the slide. The slide is the one that carries the specimen. So the slide will be held in position so that it doesn't move and make a lot of inconveniences when you're observing a specimen. So the work of this pair of clips is to hold the specimen on the slide in position for proper observation. Below the stage, there is the diaphragm. Below the stage, there is this aperture here. Is an opening. This is the diaphragm. Just below the stage is an opening. So the diaphragm is an opening. I hope my camera can be able to see that. Let me turn the mirror a little. This opening here is what we call the diaphragm. So is an opening or an aperture that regulates the amount of light that goes through these onto the stage. The amount of light that comes from the mirror, you know, light is reflected to the microscope by the mirror. So that light has to be regulated so that it doesn't become too much or even little. So regulation of the amount of light that passes to illuminate the specimen on the stage. Then of course the other one is the mirror. You can see the mirror. This one is a light microscope. So the light we use here is going to be reflected from the environment through the condenser to the stage by the mirror. So the mirror is here, and the mirror must always face the position, the right position of light. So the mirror is used in reflection of light. That light that is used in illuminating the specimen. And I think those are the parts basically of a light microscope. Remember, in an examination, maybe in a test, you'll be asked to give maybe a part and a function, or rather you're given the function and then you're asked to give the part. The last thing I want to do in this lesson is to remind you that a microscope has got delicate parts that are made up of glasses. So we have precautions on how you're supposed to use it, and even the procedure on how you're supposed to handle it, because if you mishandle a microscope, you are definitely going to break it. And as I told you, a microscope is just like a thermos, but it is not as expensive. The thermos is not as expensive as a microscope, and so it has to be protected. We also have another type of microscope which is called an electron microscope. That one we shall talk about it later. It is very big and it has more power than this one that uses light. Till the next lesson, thank you very much for your time. I wish you all the best. Let us meet in our next lesson.